about.
Yeah.
I want to talk about raising teenage children or teenagers in the UK. I feel like, because we heard one very crazy gist last week about a college girl, a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, who had like intercourse with her supposed boyfriend in school, and then they recorded it, and then the boy circulated the video, right? And that no, they didn't circulate. Send the video
to the child's father,
to the child's dad, and that broke the entire family. Even the girl became very embarrassed, wanted to go to school because, of course, everybody's seeing you. And he already sent it to all of like his friends, who then redistributed the video, and Shisha went viral in school. And that thing broke my heart because.
And she's 16.
She's only 16. No, she's 18. No, sorry, 16. She's 16. And, I couldn't stop thinking, like, 16-year-olds in school already. I know the word is
this happened in the school, by the way.
But like 16-year-old having that kind of whatever already in school, and then recording it. And I don't know, I can't blame the parents, but
and remember, they said she likes to do it, give it to the guys, and giving.
Oh yeah, it wasn't actually. It was
her giving head.
Yeah, right? BJ. Yeah, to the guy.
To the guy.
So and so for situations like that, yeah, I'm sure as a parent, is there signs? Is there things to look out for when like with this girl kids or even boy kids, like, do they show signs at home? I don't have a teenager, but we've raised a teenager. Sophie's boy is 20 years old now, but he gave us grief. He wasn't very difficult, but it was still a little bit naughty. Like, especially once he turned 16, 15, 16, 17. I think those 3 years age was the most difficult for him, because sometimes he just go out and put his phone on do not disturb. We're unable to reach him. He just doesn't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
He's finished from school. Any small, arguments with his dad or mom, he doesn't want to come back home from school. So you see him finish from school, go to football training, and then from there, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, he just goes quiet. He won't pick his mom's call, or sometimes his dad's call. He won't pick my call or Tonia's call, So with him, he wasn't that difficult. But for girl, because we don't have a teenage girl yet, and I have a girl, I know we're going to tame her, but it's just, I just want to understand, for those with teenage daughters, do they show signs at home to, to even give you a little hint that they might be going crazy in school, or like even mixing with wrong crowds, or what's the word? Company, hanging out with boys, because that's really scary. I think because I have a girl child, that broke me out. I kept telling my sister, I said, if Treasure turns, once she enters college, I'm going to be following her everywhere, because it's scary.
But the thing is, you can't follow her everywhere. That's the problem.
So how do you make them better? How do you?
It's just constant conversation, just constant talking. We should
like even these girls. So if you see something when you're driving to work, you see them wearing their skirt is so
short, like you can literally see,
and they don't cut it. They fold it. And I keep wondering, like, but what about all
the
this?
Parents, before your child leaves the house.
I don't think they do it at home.
They don't.
I think they do it on the way to school. So
they're not appropriately dressed. For me, when my son was 16, in fact, I took him to school every day until he was 16 years old. From when he was a teenager, right? So that way we kind of like saw how he dressed.
Yeah,
we picked him up from school as well. At 16, he used to hate it.
Yeah.
In fact, some of his friends used to even laugh at him and say, "Oh, Sean, your mom is always coming to pick you up from school." I said, "I don't care what they say. I am coming to pick you from school, and I will drop you. Days I can't do it, the dad will do it."
Yeah.
Right. So I think that kind of like
it helps.
It helped us a lot, because sometimes you just see these children obviously some parents they go to work first thing in the morning, so they don't see how these children leaves the house, to school. So I think the parents have a lot to do. I know it's hard, especially in this country, because you have to work. Sometimes you're tired. You don't have
We have
time,
to prioritize
but
the
you
kids
have to.
because
For me, I prioritized my kids. Even the kind of job I got, I made sure my starting time aligned with the time my
picking and
son
drop off.
picking and drop off. That was a priority for me before money, to be honest. And the same thing with the dad. We both did it together, right? So we didn't really encounter all this or experience all this, naughtiness like that,
Yeah.
From our kid until even when he was 18.
Yeah.
He was still, I mean, he had, his little dodgy ways, but it wasn't as bad.
I think girl
But
child,
girl
is
child
more difficult.
I think it's more difficult
than boy kids, because I mean boys don't get pregnant. I mean they can impregnate girls, but
Yeah.
I think with girls we need to do
a bit more with parents.
Yeah,
Parents,
like just have regular conversations with them. If they those
check their
loners,
friends.
yeah, check the
Because me,
friends.
I checked my son's friends. I know, in fact, I still have some of my son's friends contacts on my phone.
Yeah.
They watch my status.
Yeah. See who they hang with.
See who they hang with. And if I see my son hanging with a boy I don't like the way they move, I will tell him, and I'll keep telling him. The dad will tell him.
What's your thought about like sleepover?
No, my children never did sleepover even up until now. I don't let my kids go to anyone's house to sleepover. I don't let nobody's kids come to my house to sleepover. So that was number one rule. So as a parent, I don't think you should encourage that.
Because I think the thing is, the thing is with that bit,
except his family,
you might be very strict, right?
Yeah.
But the place they're spending the night might be very, I don't think they I won't call it not very. I feel like some people just love that. Is that your phone, Sophie?
Sorry.
I feel like some people.
Chinese.
I won't this again. That they'll say, "Can you?"
Sorry, guys.
In the middle of very.
I love my news, but yeah.
So I feel like I'm not blaming too much. Like I'm not going to blame the parents too much.
No.
But I just feel like you need to be more aware, right? You need to understand and just listen to pay attention to their behaviors,
even the way they dress.
When they come, they might be experiencing bullying in school, and they might not. I don't know. These children abroad, they don't talk.
Because like Sean don't used to speak at all. My first child,
they might be going
he's
through
so quiet.
Things in school,
right? And that really bothered me. So all the time we keep asking.
I like the talkative kids.
Yeah, like because the second one that he will talk, he will tell you everything. But
Treasure talks, you can tell. JD talks,
he won't say anything.
Sean didn't say nothing.
Yeah,
so we have to I
had to always come in a nice way. Yeah. If I wanted to get anything
not
out
all
of
the
it.
time.
Not all the time. Sometimes
me and Tonya were nice.
She and Tonya were really nice. They were good aunties. But me sometimes I was so strict on my son.
To school.
I would take a stick to school if I wait for him and he hasn't been home.
Yeah.
So I will go and look for him. I don't let him go to the bus stop and hang around with friends.
Yeah.
I don't let him.
Chicken
and chip shop. I used to go there and I would wait there with him. Sometimes I will even buy food for the friends.
And I think that's where all the nasty things happen.
Yes, that
all these bad guys. That's where they recruit them. They go to chicken and chip shop, offer them chicken and chips, and tell them you go help me deliver this thing so and so address.
I never
imagine because of £6.99, they're getting into nasty guns.
And I think also as a parent, try and give your child pocket money. Make it, if I know it's hard, but every now and then, don't have to be big money. Just give them because. Buy them things they need, especially when it has to do with as much as you can, and snacks. Especially food and snacks, because these little things is what makes these children.
They easily learn because of
$3.99 chicken and chips.
Yeah.
So always make sure when your child is going to school, even if it's £5,
give them a treat or twice a week. It doesn't have to be every day.
Make them work for it, because like my son now, the 11-year-old, before I give him money, I'll tell him go and make my bed. Yeah. Go and hoover.
Sweep the floor.
Go and sweep the floor.
Yeah.
Go and check the garden.
Treasure.
Go and bake treasure. Go and do this. So I make them work for it. So that way he will want to even do more. So I will have pocket money. Yeah. Right. So I think there's a lot of things as parents that we can do to help these children, because at the end of the day, it's just helping them. They think they know it, or they think they can handle when it actually comes, things that happen in the street, but they can't. Yeah. My son got robbed one time. I almost died. Yeah. Thank God they didn't harm him. They just took his phone. But from then on, I was, my strictness, it went from 1 to 100.
And I think night shift as well.
Night shift, I never do night shift.
Parents doing night shift.
Because we've seen children, because their parents go,
they
go
bring
do
friends
night
to
shift,
the house.
Bring friends to the house, a lot of crazy things. So
so I think you need to walk around your children's lives.
With your job. Try and get a job. Prioritize, because at the end of the day, if you lose that child, that's it. You never going to get it back.
As well. Tomorrow, when something happens, they'll tell you we're never there.
Yeah,
you understand? You
prioritize to your child regularly. Sometimes you can't be nice all the time. Sometimes you have to, go crazy.
Just be attentive. Just listen to them.
But listen to them. Let them tell you what they are going through.
Yeah.
If they're not happy in the house, ask them, what are you not happy about?
You talk now. What about growing up? You do this thing with your parents.
You don't say that time now. So,
and that's why we're trying hard to be different, because what we're discussing now, we didn't have this. My parents they were not observant
at all.
We could be having menstrual cramp, right? Very bad, and you hear your mother telling you go and put beans on the fire. Go wash plates. You go on you go on just like hang yourself. So we trying to be different to, I mean, I like how I was brought up, because I'm very disciplined now, and I think it's all because of how we were, because we had extremely strict parents, and we're trying to emulate them now with like when it comes to like parenting our own children, but without the extra whipping and physical stuff, because then they're going to call it abuse and whatever. This you cannot win with them. So you need to be extremely, I don't know.
You have to find what works for you.
I mean, if you have a very stubborn child and they need,
it got to a point,
especially if you're a single mom, don't leave yourself. Don't be like, oh, because the man is not in the house. You have to be the man in the house. If the man is there, because if that child fails, the dad will laugh at you. He will tell you, listen, you see, you thought you could do it. Because I'm not. We need men in the house, of course. It makes a difference. But if for any reason the man is not around, or he travels for a long time, or he's gone for work, you have to step in for that man and make sure your child don't. I don't care if you have a big boy, a teenager. You should be able to tackle your child. That boy. You see, my son is a giant, but I tackle him. You need him to understand. He's still scared of you are the parent, and he has to listen to you. Yeah, you know more than him. You've seen the kind of life he's trying to experience, and you know what's out there. That's why you're trying to protect him. You're not you're trying to protect him from harm, from being dealt with outside, because the outside is not funny. They think outside is funny. Just they want to be outside. We've seen parents that told their children, "You want to go outside? Go. See if you survive." Yeah. Is that the right thing to do? I don't think it's the right approach. No, I won't be able to do that. But so there are some children where you can't. But I still can't. What if they bring in gangs to the house? What if they bring in bad boys to the house? That's why it depends how it's what you've allowed with time. But when it gets to that point, what do you do? You still have to keep trying as a parent. You can't give up on your child. I don't believe in giving up on your child, no matter how bad. So the ones that give up on their children, they do it on purpose. No, I'm not saying they tried. It was on purpose. No, not at all. They gave it their best shot, and it's just some children are just evil. Yeah. So that's why we also have to always pray for your child all the time. Pray and be observant. If your child comes from school and just goes straight to the room, sometimes I check. Give them a little bit. My son's school bag. Yeah, check the school bag. When he was growing up. Yes. I check his school bag. I check under his bed. Check his bed. His wardrobe. Check his phone when he's sleeping. All his shoes. Yeah. The phone was difficult because he always had pin. He'll give you the password. Yeah, password. There was a time he gave me his password, but as he was growing up, I just thought, and follow him on social media, see what they post. Yeah, I think my son blocked me. Yeah, but he muted me on his WhatsApp. Yeah. But I can see his TikTok, and I can see his Snapchat, because he's too crazy, so he blocks her everywhere. But me and Tonya can see his post. He's a good boy. He's not problematic person. No. But I think you should, especially for girl child, I think you should follow them on social media, see the kind of company they keep, see the friends. I mean, they want to have boyfriends at a very young age, but don't tell them don't have a boyfriend, but let them know I want to know the boy. Just and let me see. You cannot have.
I don't even think
you cannot
I
have
the
intercourse.
patience.
No, but you have to, because if
if she's 16, no, I can't.
no, I think for those, that's what I'm saying. You need them to be open and transparent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
so you have to discuss, even intercourse, you have to discuss it with them. You have to show them this one is for woman. My daughter knows what is, just that she knows what is called. She knows the ones, like the ones for a guy, and she knows the one for girls. So I just want them. I feel like it's best for them to be aware, and then be confident and comfortable to discuss certain things. So that even with her son, when my nephew, when he had friends, he told me, Antonia, but we did not tell her. Just, and he would tell us, yeah, I like this person. We're talking, blah blah blah. We're not being anything, but she's calm, she's decent. So he will even show us her, like, social media, her name, her race, where she's from, her age, things like that. So I think I'd rather that than be extra blah blah blah, blah, and then scare them so much that they don't feel comfortable. I think maybe because I'm not my picking, we treasure that.
You try to be gentle with them, but sometimes you are trying to be gentle, but what you are looking for is not giving it to you. So sometimes you have to go the African way.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes African way does work.
Do you believe in transporting them to Africa?
No, it's worse. That was okay back in the day, but now Africa is even worse than Europe. So I don't believe in that.
No, but to get the kind of, just to be responsible, and
you can still raise a child here, bring a child up here to be a decent
Sophie,
child.
because we have, don't say that.
Just I know it's hard.
All these ones they do bad outside. Do you think the parents didn't try? That's what I'm saying. We're just lucky to have great kids. But for those ones that we have, people that's transported their kids back to Africa, it's because they couldn't manage them here.
Don't even work anymore, because I've heard stories whereby they transport them to Africa, and the kids now, because now they know their rights, they know where to go.
They come back here.
The child come back. There was a child who was suing the parents now.
No, because you already send. No, you send them when they're young.
When they're young,
you can tell a rough child.
You can tell from when they're like maybe 7, 8. You know the child.
You can tell, like, give you grief. So you just. But if you can't say a 16, 17, 18-year-old, but they're gonna come back because they already have their passport.
Yeah.
Or they know how to request for it. They do. And come back here. So I think, to summarize, what was that?
I said in summary.
Okay.
She's so crazy.
So to summarize, I think parents need to, just be observant, pay close attention to your children, work,
don't encourage sleepovers. Parents,
yeah, prioritize the children. I know work is important, you have bills to pay, but just try, there has to be a balance, right? You cannot, especially night shift. I don't think that has never worked. I've heard so many bad experience about leaving your kids at home and all through the night for work, and because a lot of things can happen in that 12 hours, right? So I think you need to just work around your children's rota, and we can be disciplined and strict, but let's also be very approachable. Let them be okay to discuss certain things, even if sometimes there's some things that they're going to tell you. You can tell you're fuming, right? But you want to hear the entire thing. Let them land, and then tell them, okay, even though I want to kill you right now, but I appreciate you telling me. But this is the right, this is how you're supposed to deal with this. This is how you're supposed to, and it's life. Do you understand? So I think it's better to be more the calmer approach. I believe always works better. You might feel different.
No, all the time.
Yeah, but do whatever works for you.
Whatever works for you. I feel
just
try and make sure you are involved.
Yeah. So
very, very involved.
If your daughter goes to school on her own, try and drive behind her one day, and just see if she's one of those that folds their skirt, because that's even inviting the wrong people.
Yeah. Even my son, when he was in college back in the day, and I didn't let him. I would tell him, no, you have to pull that pants up, pull it up. You use your school. I need belts. I want to see belts. Because sometimes he will dress up. He don't want to put belts. He will just pull the trouser because he's very tall. He will pull the trouser. I say, pull that thing up. Pull it up. Where is your belt?
Yeah.
I made sure he wore belt every single day. I'm sure maybe when he gets, he will take it off. But at least when he's leaving the house, he looks decent.
Follow him to follow her to school. Follow him to school.
I follow him to
If
school.
you embarrass
I
her
will
or
even
him
call the
once
school
or twice.
sometimes. I'll speak to the teacher. I say, please let me know whenever he's misbehaving.
Yeah.
I want updates, you know. So they used to call us not every week, but like every now and then.
And pick them up sometimes.
Yeah, and I pick him up. I used to pick him
make
up
sure they come
every
home
day.
on time. You see children in chicken and chip shop at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, doing what?
Yeah, no. I don't. I never
make sure they're
that.
home.
My son never hung out in the at the chicken and chip shop.
Yeah.
Never.
You know,
I was always there. He hated it, but I didn't care. You know, at first he it was like but with time he got used to it. Even his friends got used to it because sometimes I would give them a lift. You know, they with time they all got used to it. Now they say, oh, Sean's mom.
Yeah. So we can do better.
We can.
They need us. We're more experienced, and we have to show them not the hard way. I mean, they can learn the hard way, but let's use the calmer approach first.
Yeah.
And then we can.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But yeah. It was
a nice discussion. Yeah.
When Treasure is 18 or 16, we'll visit this topic again.
Yeah.
So I can tell you how it's going. But now it's fine. She's still very young, so she's not giving me any stress yet. But this one, I'll follow her everywhere. I'll know all her friends. I'll know all her every. Anyway, until next time, guys.
Peace.